We'll go on rambling. Well, anyways. Welcome, everybody.
Hello, everyone.
How are you doing today?
Are you okay?
And welcome
To the Crypt Twins.
to the Crypt Twins. I am Adam.
Nice save there with that wave.
And I am... Oh, whoops.
With that and that SS joke from like the last
two weeks ago. Hi. It doesn't count. My hands
Here,
off the
it's
screen.
off the
They
screen.
can't see
True.
what it is.
No, he's just doing a big like peace sign. That's what that is.
Hello.
Hello, that's Adam, and I'm Michael, and this is the Crypt Twins.
I already said that. Begin.
I'm shut your mouth. If you're here, that means you're probably one of the few who have watched our other videos.
Yes. Or you may have heard about us on the Insta.
If you call it the Insta again, I'm gonna jab you in the throat.
I would hope you would. It hurt me to say that. On Instagram.
We're on Instagram. As much as I hate it, we're on Instagram.
We've gained like 7 followers over the last week.
We did actually. It's
and
pretty cool.
And I haven't really even posted anything.
Well, we have had the luck of having a couple different cryptid channels follow us on there.
Well, we've had other podcasts start to follow us. So if you go to our Instagram, you can check them out. Excuse me. I'll follow some of them back and everything like that, so you guys can see some of them too. Because I think it's cool. I mean, they're a little bit bigger than we are, but
yeah, we have. Let's see here. We had Unknown Animals. It's a page on Instagram. The Cursed Cafe. They have a podcast. Hey Strangeness. It's another podcast there. We also had Tea and Cryptids.
Yep.
Sasquatch Trading. Squatch Trading Company.
Yep.
Conspiracy Theories and plus something. Conspiracy Theories plus Cryptids. And then this is probably my favorite one. Florida Men on Florida Man podcast.
Yes.
And I think that's great because we are two Florida men on a Florida podcast. Not about Florida, but Florida, it was on there. But yeah, it's pretty neat. These guys have popped through. Yeah.
Okay.
I think that was us. And the Indiana Marketing Service.
Yeah, because every single time I make a post, I have to put like hashtag the state that we're in. That way it'll come up, but based off the state and everything like that. So, yeah, we'll just get. I mean, it's got 3,000 something followers.
It does actually, which is pretty funny. They have only 3 posts, but
Hey,
they have 33. They're following 5,400 people, and they got 3,300 followers.
so hey, whatever. Thanks, Indiana Marketing.
Thanks, Indiana Marketing Company. We didn't make fun of your state too bad.
I don't think we did.
Who did we make fun of?
We've made fun of every single state that we've been at.
Probably. I mean, we made fun of Florida too.
Oh, yeah.
Not as bad though, because we're pretty awesome. Pretty great. It's pretty good,
So-
here, you know.
Last week we did good old
Posers.
Kentucky.
Yes.
Good old Kentucky. What did we cover in Kentucky?
I don't remember.
I don't either.
And I was just editing that video yesterday. I'm gonna finish editing it tonight. Probably before you leave. I got some. I'm almost done with it.
Okay. So, yeah, crap.
Yeah, crap.
Should have thought about that before I even said anything about the monsters. There.
Oh, the Wolfmen.
Oh yeah, that's right.
It's been 2 weeks for us. We had
We had a little bit of a delay.
for my job. I travel pretty much up and down I-95 a good distance. Is there a crack in that? There ain't a crack in there, is there?
I think there is.
Oh, crap. I
Well,
like that
crack.
mug. Oh, what? You're so stupid. Anyway, yeah, so I travel a lot, and it makes it hard to edit the videos sometimes. So this one's coming out a little bit later this week. Louisiana, which is the state we're in.
Good old Louisiana.
This state should this video should come out on time. Kentucky should be going up Wednesday, the 6th.
Yes.
On Wednesday the 6th, which would have been last Wednesday.
Yeah. So
This past Wednesday.
to frame it, we need to do assumptions.
That's right. We got to get
do
right into those assumptions.
Assumptions about Louisiana, the Cajun state.
Assumptions. So, what are your assumptions for this state? I mean, so when I think about Louisiana as a whole, it's pretty funny actually because when people think of Louisiana, a lot of people want to think of it as being haunted, like in New Orleans and stuff.
Oh yeah,
like apparently New Orleans is pretty upset that Savannah is actually listed as the country's most haunted city. But Savannah, Georgia, is the country's most haunted city.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I wish I had known that when I was traveling up there all the time. I mean, that could have been why I felt weird when I was staying up in some of those hotels up there.
That's possible.
But,
I mean, why do they say that that's the most haunted?
That's just where the most reported stuff has come about. They have a lot of sightings of different like paranormal crap.
Well, the reason why I think that they would want it to be Louisiana is because there's so many more tragedies that have happened in that area.
Oh yeah,
especially in New Orleans.
Well, it's not even that; it's the culture with the the hoodoo and the voodoo and the Cajun culture, stuff like that.
We will get to that in a moment. But yes, yeah.
Oh gosh, that tasted gross.
It's definitely. I think because it's not only that stuff, but there's multiple cases of mudslides, floodings, the hurricane destruction.
Oh yeah,
Not only that, but I was reading another article when I was researching some of the stuff but there was an explosion that actually happened in New Orleans. I think around the early 1880s.
What caused that?
I didn't really read enough of it. I was looking for other death records. So I'm just like, oh wow, they exploded. That's crazy, but that's not what I'm looking for.
I'll find out. I'll look through it as we're going through here.
Yeah.
But yeah, so as far as what kind of cryptids would be around, I mean, of course we have the Cajun, dirty, filthy people. It's so funny that guy. It's Tom Segura.
Tom Segura's joke.
It's so funny.
So funny.
It's pointless.
Dude,
it's pointless.
They got mad at him.
Pointlessly mean for no reason.
Exactly.
Just because they're Cajun. So that's why it's funny. If you're offended by a joke that is making fun of itself for being terribly offensive, then you're not understanding how comedy works. But I would think with the amount of water damage and water crap that's been going on in Louisiana just as a whole and kind of how swampy it is, I'm assuming there's going to be like a swamp/monster.
You would be correct.
Swamp/river monster. So swamp/monster.
Yeah, so just looking through on with the Wikipedia. So, oh yeah, we didn't do this about Louisiana.
Sounded like you were 58 years old. The Wikipedia. I'm on the Wikipedia.
Shut your mouth.
Oh, were you on the website?
I'm on the Wikipedia page for Louisiana.
Uh-huh.
That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah, you stopped it. I'm on the Wikipedia.
Shut your mouth.
I'm going to go check my email. On the email.
Before it was admitted to statehood, it was known as the territory of Orleans. It was admitted to the Union in April 30th of 1812. Its capital is Baton Rouge. Largest city is New Orleans or Nolans.
It's New Orleans.
Nolans.
I don't know why. I know people.
It's whatever.
I have one guy. So hold on. I have a guy.
Continue.
That was weird, son. Who got irritated because I say it's New Orleans or New Orleans.
Yeah.
He did not like that. He's like, no, it's New Orleans. I've been down to New Orleans all the time. New Orleans.
You mean Narlands?
Narwhals.
Narwhal. So
Nike.
So
just do it.
So there is 52,069.13 square miles total area. 43,601 of that is land, and 8,283 is water. It's 15% of it. Area rank is 31st in the U.S.
Okay.
Highest elevation is 100 feet. Its lowest elevation in New Orleans, -8.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Population is 4.6 million people as of 2020.
It's not as many people as I thought, but I guess they all live kind of that far south. Actually, if you look at them, it's actually pretty sad if you look at a map on how that kind of progressed through the years, where people live and the reasons why they live there.
Mm-hmm. Well, another thing is the income rank is 48th out of the 50 states.
Oh, holy crap. They are super poor out there.
Yeah, something like that.
That's sad.
Spoken language is English of 91%, French, including Cajun and Creole type of speaking of it, is 3.45%, which is higher than the Spanish of 3.3%, and the Vietnamese coming in at 0.6%.
Not a Vietnamese over there?
It just means 0.6 of the
Yeah, people speak it.
0.6 of the language
But
out
out
there is
of,
said.
what, out of 8 million people? That's a lot of people still.
Out of 4 million people.
What did I say?
8.
Oh. Okay, 4 million still. That's still a lot.
So one thing that we're going to notice a lot, at least with the story that I'm going to talk about, is that it was the people that settled in this area were mostly French and Spanish settlers. So we're going to see, I mean, that's the reason why there's like Baton Rouge, there's different French aspects throughout all of Louisiana and in New Orleans as well, because of the French and Spanish colonizations back before it was admitted into statehood. So
Is that it? Is that what you're talking about right there?
yeah, Steamboat Princess exploded.
Yeah. So sorry. This is just to call back to what Adam was talking about, the different kind of tragedies we were talking about, and this is where I would think that this is more poltergeisty stuff. I think what happens is where you have like ghosts and stuff like that. On February 27th, 1859, the Steamboat Princess exploded on the Mississippi River, killing between 70 and 200 passengers and crew. Robert Fulton's steamboat is arguably the single most important invention that spawned the settlement and economic expansion in the 19th century Louisiana. So, yeah, it seems like that just was what exploded. That's what he was talking about.
Okay, yeah. So there was a Spanish occupation of Louisiana. It lasted from 1769 to 1800s.
Nice.
Waves of immigration took place from Saint Domingue. Domingue. What? Domingue. So. Well, anyway, so we'll get into that. So I feel like that wraps it up for facts and assumptions.
Probably. It zips it right up.
I think it would give it a good.
I'm going to put pants on the butt.
At the end,
Yeah, so it zips it up.
it's a nice closer. It's good. So, all right. So that would bring us now to the cryptids and the other things, which during Louisiana, there was.
Louisiana.
Shut your mouth.
That's a lacking.
So before I, well, no, I guess I'll talk about that when I start. What am I trying to say right now?
Trying to tell
Gosh,
us
dang it,
what's
dude.
our main meat, Adam.
Marie Laveau. Marie Laveau was the Voodoo Queen, as what she was called within 1800s. Later 1800s until early 1800s until the late 1800s when she died.
Okay. So would you say she's our main meat?
She would be the main meat.
Gross.
How did you get that so tasty?
That slaps.
That slaps. It slaps good, it slaps hard, and it's nice and warm. Okay,
You're going to say something else to start with.
before I go into her being the actual Voodoo Queen, there's something I do want to talk about. First off, I will be reading some descriptions that were based from the time period.
Oh boy.
So I'm not going to say anything terrible, but there are going to be some words that aren't specifically the bad words that people do not like, but they are going to seem possibly a little off color.
We're going to get canceled so fast.
No. But it's all dated based on that time.
Are we going to have to read Huck Finn?
So before I get started, though, there is a main thing that she is said that she is a voodoo queen.
Okay.
And there's
She's
three different things.
Self-proclaimed a voodoo queen?
That's what people have called her. Is the
Okay.
voodoo queen.
But she never called herself the voodoo queen.
I'm not from what I can tell.
Why haven't you interviewed her?
Because
What is
she's
wrong
been
with
dead.
you?
For a
Summon
long
her.
time.
If she's a voodoo queen, we can get a hold of her.
Probably. All right, Michael. I'm going to grab me a knife. I'm going to cut my hand. I'm going to stab a pentagram into my hand, slap the table. I will summon her
You're gonna
right
stab
now.
it?
I'm going to stab.
You're
yeah,
not gonna-
I'm gonna, no,
you're
I'm
not
not going
gonna
to drag.
cut it?
I'm not going to drag the knife. I'm going to stab the pentagram bit by bit by bit, and then just I summon thee, and then we'll talk to her.
That'd be crazy.
Shadow
If
person
you
just-
did that and the lights turned off. Wouldn't that be nuts? I really wish I could control the lights.
I
with a
would poop
remote.
myself immediately.
I would die laughing at you. It'd
Okay.
be so funny.
So we're going to go into the differences between
Voodoo in the hoodoo.
voodoo, hoodoo, and root work.
That last one sounds so funny to me.
But yeah, okay.
Root work?
Root work's like one of the actual. I mean, I think.
I thought you said root
Yeah, it's
work.
Root work, like working with roots.
Oh.
Like shamans.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. It's just okay. So,
So-
it is exactly what I thought. But see, in my mind, And I know it's people who use like roots and stuff for like different
Yeah, but
rituals.
you're thinking that it's more. It's not how you think. It's not where it's like curses and stuff.
No, that's not what I'm thinking
I mean,
about.
it can be.
I'm thinking about how funny it is if a guy's just digging around, grabbing roots, and someone comes out, "What you doing?" Just some root work. Just yanking out roots.
Shut up.
Of weeds. It gets like that weed that's got like the big ball on the bottom. Oh yeah, that one's gonna work really well.
Okay, so
That's all. He sees a big tree with roots popping out of the ground and gets all excited.
oh, this is gonna be some good root work.
That's gonna be some good root work right here.
So hoodoo and root work are synonyms for basically the same African American tradition. That is, it has overlap with, but is very different than voodoo. So
Did I have
voodoo
it backwards? Is hoodoo the nice version and voodoo the bad version?
No, neither is not. Neither is good. Neither is bad. It's not about that. So, excuse me. The religion of
Cough on the other
the Fon and U peoples in Benin and Togo is called West African Voodoo, also spelled Voodoo or Voodoo. I'm hoping I'm saying those right, but I don't know.
Okay.
Well, anyways, Fon and Ui slaves brought to Haiti, continued to practice their indigenous religion under the guise of Catholicism. So, and this is something that pops up very much when talking about Marie Laveau, is they would kind of bring in Catholicism along with the voodoo practices. That way the Europeans and the English settlers weren't like, oh, crazy devil magic, I don't understand the different religion. And then immediately like try to crucify them or something. They were like, no, look, we're using your saints. We're using the same talisman things that you guys are.
Gotcha.
And
Okay.
it was a good way to kind of bridge the gap, and we'll get more into that as well.
All right.
So, hoodoo and root work is more of like kind of like folk magic that we would think of today as what you would think of like with witches or covens and stuff, where it doesn't necessarily mean there's bad witches or stuff, or it's like people who believe in crystals. Okay.
Okay.
So voodoo is the actual religion and belief in their own separate god, their own
Yeah.
deities, and things of that nature. What are you laughing about? Are you thinking about voodoo, the power of the babe? I hate you so much.
I was thinking about it so hard.
I can't believe I picked that up.
Look at yours. Dance magic, dance magic.
So
The power of hoodoo.
So the very big thing to pull away from this, voodoo, actual religion from West African originality, and coming over and being basically called something else. Hoodoo and root work is kind of like the folk magic shamanism type of thing.
Sorry.
And voodoo primarily thinks about a god. Hoodoo and stuff thinks about like of yourself and making yourself better with the use of magic type stuff.
Okay.
Okay.
Gotcha.
So now I got that out of the way.
Yep.
So also to paint a picture of this time period. Oh crap! What happened? Picture of the time period. It's around 1881. I'm sorry, 1801 to 1881. This is
Okay.
the time of slavery in
Yep.
the United States, and actually in Louisiana, it had a very high amount of free blacks and what they would call mulattoes, which that's one of the words.
Mulattoes?
Yes, that's one of the words that I want to be careful with saying, but that is what they're described as,
Wait.
of being mixed.
Is mulatto a bad word?
When the way that they describe it, I don't think it's a good way of saying it.
Okay.
It's basically
Because I love the thing from Archer with the mulatto,
mulatto
butts.
butts, yeah.
Is that bad?
I don't know, but like the way that it's the time period that it's written
the
in,
tone is
the tone
different.
is different.
It's basically like-
it's not saying like they're white. It's not saying like they're white. It's like
they're not white, they're not black.
They're not super white.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So, but
Does it go the other way though? Sorry, I don't keep interrupting you, but does it go the other way though, where it's like they're not all black either? You know what I mean? Back in the day.
well, no, they would just judge you more based off of how white you looked. They don't care about how black you look. But if like they could tell that you were a little bit mulatto,
Yeah.
if you had better or good features, which is something that I pulled from the article, one of the articles I had, good meaning looking more white than black, you were treated better.
Oh, okay.
So
Understood.
in this area, though, they were basically working through the Spanish and French like versions of slavery laws.
Okay.
So a slave could actually save up enough money that they can make their own money, save up money, and
they can buy their
own
own freedom back. Yeah, that was a big French thing.
So another
'cause,
thing that they could
the French and the Spanish were having slaves just like the Americans were, and just like the filthy English, but we're the bad ones. Sorry, I like throwing that out there because people tend to forget that we didn't invent slavery.
No, we didn't.
Ticks me off.
And as we'll find out, also Marie Laveau also had 7 slaves of her own, as well as one of her husbands. So, anyways,
She had 7 slaves and he had 7 slaves?
no, it's just
Oh,
I mean,
yeah, sorry.
yeah. So we're going to start with the Marie Laveau family tree that I have so far. So based off of what sources can show, her great-grandmother would have had to been a slave from West Africa, taken over in about the mid-1700s.
Okay, so she was a slave in Africa and then taken over?
Yeah.
Fun.
And then you have her grandmother, Catherine Henry. She was a slave. She moved from place to place, emancipated by her last slave owner, who was a free woman of color.
Yeah. She was a slave to a...
Woman of color.
Oh, wow.
Black woman, yep. But I think what they would do is, some of them, I don't know, and I could be the same. I mean, there's just as good, there's
Well, there
just
was
as
good
many good black people as there are good white people.
No, I
so there
know
could
that.
have been somebody that say like, hey, I'm going to buy you so you can buy your own freedom.
Well, and that's how
Which is-
honestly, that did happen. I mean, that did happen. It wasn't super common, but it
Yeah.
wasn't rare either. I mean, that's like how people were like, well, George Washington had slaves. He's like, well, yeah, but also he had it in a stipulation when he died, they all went free.
Yeah,
A lot of them had stuff like that when they were,
me.
alive.
yeah. Okay, so you have Catherine Henry,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have her grandfather, Henry Roch Belair. Henry Roch Belair was a
I think it's Roque.
whatever. Henry Roche, is it Roche or Roche?
It's probably Roche.
I think it's Roche. Henry Roche Belair. He
it's
was a
Roche.
white settler, plantation owner.
Okay.
Her mom was Marguerite d'Arcantel, remained with her father Henri Roche Belair until his death, who was sold, and then she was sold to another owner who gave her freedom at the end of that. D'Arcantel comes from her being a placey, which means it's like a concubine basically. She was a placey of the Frenchman Henri d'Arcantel. A placey is like a relationship without being recognized as a marriage. It's most likely due to Henri being white and Marguerite being mulatto. So
Gotcha.
she was her. So Henri Roche Belair, her grandfather, was also a plantation owner.
Okay.
And then you have Frenchman Henri d'Arcantel. So she's got a pretty fair complexion,
Okay.
is what we're getting at.
Yeah.
Her father was Charles Trudeau de Laveau. I hate French. He was
dead language.
he was a wealthy plantation owner. Also, he was a free black man whose mother was also named Marie Laveau.
Oh, okay.
And this is where we get into her story.
Marie Laveau story.
Marie Catherine Laveau's story started September 10th in New Orleans, Louisiana, which was known as New France at the time.
Okay.
The year was 1801. However, there are some sources that kind of go back and forth with this. There is multiple obituaries written about her when she died that claimed she was 98 when she died.
Okay.
If she was 98 in 1881, she would have had to be born in 1793 or 94.
Yeah.
And I don't know which one I'm inclined to believe, because if it was that way, she has children later in life. It would just make her way too young to be a child, way too young to be a parent, or way too young to have kids. And I don't
Like
mean
how young?
Like 18. And I know that's still old enough,
Mm-hmm.
but during that time, yellow fever was running rampant in Louisiana as well.
Yeah, but kids were having kids back then. I mean, you were having
that's
like
true.
14-year-olds having kids.
That's true.
So I don't know. I think it could be possible. 18 is almost like, you didn't get married yet?
Yeah, right.
No, actually, okay, let me rephrase this. You're 16. What do you mean you're not pregnant?
Yeah, you're 16.
If you're 16, you should be starting a family. What do you mean you're still doing it at home? Find you a man. I just got my period. What am I supposed to do?
Have a baby? Duh. Okay, so
What if that was the conversation now? Like, I don't mean to throw this to you, but your children, you mean you have two, you will have two daughters here soon.
yep.
What if that was your response? They come up and ask you questions, and they're like,
I don't know, have a baby, I guess.
I don't know, have a baby. What are you still doing in my house? How are you not married yet?
Aren't you a woman now? Go talk to your mother. Okay. So she grew up on her father's.
man.
So now we're talking about. Oh gosh, dang it, man.
Gosh dang it.
Gosh dang. Okay, so
Twins.
I talked about that. She grew up on her father's plantation, where she was educated and studied how to be a hairdresser. This is going to be important later as well.
Okay.
She has records of her baptism at St. Louis Cathedral, where she fervently attended Mass every single week.
Okay.
She was described as very pious and took delight in strengthening the allegiance of souls to the church, her daughter Marie Philomene would say, later in life.
Okay, that's interesting.
I know. Not much is said about her early life, but she had a much better life than others of her skin complexion at that time. She was, like I said, very light skinned and was treated better than most. Oh, also, one thing that I left out. She was the firstborn free in her family line.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so
That's pretty cool.
there is that.
Because is this after? I'm gonna be
This was
so
after-
stupid. Is this after the Emancipation?
No, it's not.
Oh no, yeah, you're right. Because Lincoln was around in like the 1840s, right?
Something like that. I
1860s?
saw there's news clippings talking about Laveau and Lincoln at the same time, but
Oh, okay.
the Emancipation Proclamation wasn't put into place then. Okay,
I should know that date.
yeah, probably.
I feel like.
So records say that Marie was described as tall, beautiful, and statuesque with curly black hair, golden skin, and good features, which then meant more white than Negro looking. That was from the article. In the area of New France, which was Louisiana back in the day, or New Orleans, there was a great population of free black men and women due to the great portion of Spanish colonial law that allowed to enslave people. I already talked about this. I said, which was terrible, still, don't get me wrong, but that did help kind of form the framework of the voodoo mysticism that we see with this time frame. Because there was an actual blending of societies that did happen from the West African populace and the English religions mixing in a sort. And actually having them around as free peoples is going to...
They're going to be able to practice their...
It's so stupid because it's just like, I don't understand that. Obviously, it's witchcraft, and that's the first thing they went to.
Yeah.
And I mean, I get it for the time period, but also it's just so silly to me sometimes to think about. But
Well, don't they do like rituals and stuff and things of that nature?
yeah, but so does other religions.
But what kind of? I mean, I've always heard the rituals surrounding like
It's like dancing and music and celebration type things.
yeah.
Yeah, so it's like a big celebration.
Yeah, so basically devil magic.
Yeah, but then they would like watch, but then they could see like somebody do a rendition of Jesus Christ on the cross.
Yeah,
What do you think they would say? Like, ah, so you just staple him to that up there? Why is that so much better?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just think it's silly.
Well, I
but
think-
it's on both sides because they would be both things that they don't understand.
Yeah. I mean, I think though some of that goes to. I mean, the media definitely didn't help back then. It doesn't help now still.
Absolutely, and I'm going to get into some of that too.
Cool.
I have newspaper clippings about that stuff.
Ooh. Well,
Yes.
yeah, and if you have newspaper clippings from way back then too, they didn't even have to be accurate.
No, they didn't. They made up a lot of stuff.
We've talked about that before with our, the couple monsters we had in like not Kentucky, Kansas, and
where they
one
get
of
to
the
make up their
Indianas.
own stories and make
I
it
made
all
up a story about a monster, a cryptid that exists, and an X, Y, and Z person shot at it. You know, all this stuff, and then it's like, no, it never happened. But
Exactly. Okay. So here we go.
do you know what happens tomorrow? Sorry, this is totally random. You know what I get to go do tomorrow? I get to go pick up my rifle.
I'm happy for you.
That's so cool.
Good for you.
Sorry. I looked at your hat and I saw the...
All right. So in 1819, there's a record of Marie marrying one Jacques Perry, an immigrant from Paris. Many would believe that this marriage yielded no children. However, there are records at St. Louis Cathedral showing them having $2 that were baptized. Did I say dollars?
You said dollars.
two daughters that were baptized.
He said, $2 that are baptized.
You had Felicity, who was born in 1817, baptized 1824. I don't know if you noticed that, but she was born in 1817. They got married in 1819. And this is one of the reasons why they think that this is probably one of the reasons why they didn't talk about their kids much. And then baptized Mary Angeli, who was born 1822 and baptized 1823. Now, this is also another part of her life that kind of brings mystery surrounding her. This is like the only records of these children or her husband.
Maybe they all died.
At this time. There's no obituaries, there's no funeral receipts or death certificates of him or the kids.
Well, you don't have to do those if they just go missing.
She got one for other people. Other people did get, so they saw it as a disappearance.
Yeah.
As of 1824. So on Felicity's baptismal record, though, it does show him as deceased, the father, but there's no death certificate or anything like that. After this period in her life, she did start referring to herself as the Widow Paris. But nobody knew if he was dead or not. They just knew that he was gone.
She killed him.
Who knows?
Sounds
so,
like
around 1826... Around 1826, she began a domestic partnership with Christophe Dominique de Glapion.
I love this part.
A white noble.
Shut
Shut your face. A white noble Frenchman whom she did have many children.
Yeah.
Some sources say up to 15, but they're unsure how many of those were just children and how many were grandchildren. Her life was, through her life, though, she was incredibly charitable and helpful with many different people in the area, ranging from lawyers needing pep talks to guidance on attracting lovers. It has also been confirmed that she owned at least 7 slaves during her lifetime, blah, blah, blah. Other stories that led to mysticism around her tales. Okay, this is where I start reading about, other stories that lead to mysticism surrounding her tales is that she would attend to prisoners before they were slated to get executed.
Okay.
Rumors went around saying that she was giving them poison so they could basically end their sentence themselves, basically, without having to get their necks broken.
Oh.
Depending
on how fast that poison works, I'd rather have my neck snapped.
Well, I think it was more like a tincture to make them like not feel. So it's probably some type of alcohol or something like that. But those are just rumors, and they were never proven. And May 14th, 1871, in the New Orleans Republican, page 5, there is a basically a good paragraph and a half talking about how.
That's definitely 2 paragraphs there, bud.
Yeah,
paragraph and a half.
So
okay.
It says that her and her grandchildren provide the chapel adjoining a condemned cell with the appropriate symbols. They said that she basically talked to the prisoners and stuff, made them comfortable, gave them food and stuff, and it went down to say she's a good Christian woman who has been erroneously described by a portion of the press as a voodoo priestess.
Okay.
She's devout and acceptable member of the Catholic Communion and has been for 40 years devoted herself to Christian ministrations. It says ministrations. I guess administrations.
Where does it say that? What are you talking about?
Ministrations for whom the law has condemned to die. Huh. So she was a good lady. Good lady. So she was the Voodoo Queen.
Looks like
There's no question about that. But okay, hold on. There's that part. I'm trying to figure out where I wrote some of this stuff.
I mean, I see a lot
That's
of words.
her getting to be there. Those are some articles about that. Okay, so another part before I go a little bit further, I might touch on it again. One of the reasons why that she kind of had this mysticism thing about her as well is because of the network that she had. She was a hairdresser, and she was a hairdresser for the very wealthy.
Oh, she knew everything.
Very prominent people in New Orleans.
Yeah.
She knew every secret everybody had. She knew everything that anybody talked about. Her servants helped her out. She was very...
Maybe that's why she was able to get rid of her husband and her kids. She knew who to talk to. She's doing somebody's hair, and they're talking about, what their job is, and she leans in real close. I've got a job for you.
That would have been when she was 23.
But she was still a hairdresser then, right?
I believe she was at that time, yes.
So, yeah.
Maybe.
It's not out of scope to think that she wouldn't find the right person at the right time.
Okay.
That could get rid of her husband and kids.
So now I'm going to get into why she is thought to be a voodoo queen and why they called her that.
That sounds like a...
You're thinking about Voodoo Child.
No.
The song?
No, I'm thinking about Killer Queen, I think. No. I don't know what I'm thinking about.
There's a song called Voodoo Child.
Is there?
I think it's by Jimi Hendrix.
Voodoo Child.
Okay, so, She was a voodoo queen, but that's no different than basically being the higher ranking Catholic teachers in the church. Because remember, it is just a religion. It's just a different religion. That's all it is. She was a dedicated practitioner of voodoo as well as a herbalist and healer. She had the title for decades, but her claim to that title is in much speculation. Some believe that she was taught by her predecessors, which were, hold on,
What?
Saniti Didi
Where?
and Marie Salope. Shut up.
Marie Salope.
They said that they were that they basically taught her. Another is that she was taught by this guy named Dr. John, who was Jean Montanet, who was the Voodoo King, who basically did a lot of other type of stuff. Not necessarily darker stuff, but he was just very, very, very prominent.
Okay.
Actually saw his story. It was pretty crazy. Has a really sad ending. He was illiterate, and he had a lot of wealth. Didn't trust banks. He buried a lot of his money, put a lot of his stuff in the walls, and some dude cheated him out of all of his belongings because he made him sign a contract, and he was illiterate. He couldn't read it, so he just signed it because he was hoping that he was being honest. Lost everything.
Jeez.
And some people believe that you can still find some of Dr. John's treasure throughout certain areas in New Orleans as well.
Ooh, that'd be kind of fun to go and try to find.
Yeah. So another final theory is that she just kind of learned it from growing up with her grandma, who was raising her to be both voodoo following and Catholic as well. And then also, all three of those theories could be or could not be true. It could be like a combination of both or none at all.
So why do they call her the Voodoo Queen? Just because she practiced this at the time?
It was like she basically grew to the ranks of it and was very well known, she was a figurehead.
Okay.
She was everywhere.
So what ties this into her being a cryptid? Or having a cryptid that falls into her?
So if we go into like what people thought about voodoo and things of that nature, people thought voodoo was like, I can put a curse on you, I can have you killed, I can do this, that, or the other thing.
I can turn you into a newt.
Or they saw like the things that she would sell in the quarter, known as a gris bags, which is like a talisman.
Okay.
Some of them saw her doing ceremonies where
probably like saging and stuff like that.
well, so there were stories about her singing and
Smudging.
performing voodoo spiritual celebrations, conjuring the great serpent spirit, Don Gibway. And this is actually I got this from a voodoo shop glossary, so it's like actual about what it is.
Sounds
He's a
familiar.
great serpent, language of the people of Ardra, Waidia, and Dahomey. I hope I say that right. This name was given to the species of yellow and brown molted python, were venerated as an intermediary. Stop doing that.
Sorry.
Intermediary or focus of divine power.
Okay.
And being possessed by a loa, which is a type of voodoo spirit.
Okay.
So she would do these rituals and it looked like she is getting possessed or something of that nature. And then people attribute that to either demon or magic partners, like some crazy stuff. So she did have a beauty parlor, so she worked on hair of the wealthier families I could talk to.
Yep.
So there's little that can be said about any magical career that she had, because she either hit it really, really well, or it just never happened. She did a very good job of taking care of her wealthy patrons while instilling fear into her servants, either paying them or helping them with their health. There were stories and rumors. These stories, whether rumors or not, continue to build onto the mysticism surrounding her. Voodoo was practiced throughout New Orleans at the time. And for her to be the Voodoo Queen would make it seem like, obviously, why do you keep doing this, computer? She is capable of magical spells, curses, and the like. Doing a search through New Orleans newspapers from 1801 to 1880 looking for the words voodoo and voodoo spelled differently. There were over 60 separate pages ranging multiple years talking about voodoo and its spiritual capabilities. A sugar planter, April 4th, 1868, page 2, basically said that, let me see, through an agency of voodoo priestess who assisted and been invoked to prevent discovery. So basically they're saying that this voodoo priestess was basically trying to help conceal her with her magic.
Okay.
This other one, Voodoo's Revenge, Young Lady Poison, Planter's Banner, August 9th, 1871. Voodoo priestess given a procured powder. Stop it. Stupid laptop. I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill him. I'm gonna stab
It's
it.
because you're holding it at a weird angle. It keeps wanting to tear.
No,
keeps
it's
wanting
not.
to
It's,
change
it's not. It's because my hand keeps touching the screen, and
Oh.
it keeps thinking I want to type, and I don't want to type.
Well, stop doing that then. Did you want my mouse?
No,
I
I
asked you about that because you would be able to scroll through your windows without having to touch it, and then maybe turning on your.
I'm good.
Okay.
So she attached the So this other story and the Planter's Banner basically goes on to say that this priestess helped get revenge for a lover scorned by giving her a very special tincture of poison.
Okay.
Then you have New Orleans Crescent, December 25th, 1868, page 6. Super long story, gave voodoo very strong elements, like the Voodoo Queen appeared out of nowhere with red fiery eyes, as a ghastly appearance.
Is that from the person's like point of view, or that's who's reporting
it was like
it?
it was like a personal story.
Oh, interesting.
New Orleans Crescent, Jan 12th, 1869, page 2. So this one's kind of sad. Not sad, but like... so basically, they were using voodoo, or... they were voodoo doctors that were basically trying to treat a boy, or is this about treating a woman? Well, basically, this lady died.
Is this a boy or a woman?
Yeah, so...
Is you is or is you ain't a boy?
yeah, so here we go. Where did I... There's a part on here that I can't read out loud. And I can't... Yeah, there we go.
What is it?
A man that died through the maltreatments at the hands of a blank doctor. So...
Just say a black doctor.
Yeah. What they mean as a black doctor.
In a very mean
In a very
version.
bad version,
Very
bad
bad word
tone.
for a...
So basically,
Black
they
person.
were giving it not only these magical properties, but that these people were like, if these people practiced this art and said that they were a doctor, which they didn't actually see as a doctor, even if they
Yeah.
knew about herbs and how to heal the body, not necessarily using, I guess, new medicine, but
Yeah.
if they knew other tactics, they
Like
saw
holistic stuff.
Holistic stuff. They saw you as a witch. They saw you as this. So, and I know it's not like all of our other monsters that we've done before, but I think it's interesting that she has all these magical things about her. Do you want me to stop with this? Because I have more.
How much more do you have?
Because we were talking for about 20 minutes beforehand, right?
It's about 15 to 20.
Okay, I'll be done in just a second. I don't want to go too long. Sorry.
There you're good.
What happened?
Your stuff turned off there. So, as far as, the kind of the, making her one of the cryptids of the whole, putting her into the show.
Yeah.
So, there's a lot of rumors surrounding her on just what her abilities were, pretty much, and then blaming her for different, kind of, not atrocities, but different things that happen around the city of Louisiana, or
Not
New
necessarily.
Orleans.
It was more of like you didn't want to mess with her because she's a witch and she could do this or that or the other thing to you. When in reality, she was like one of the nicest people in the town.
No.
She was like super charitable and did a bunch of stuff, like helped out a lot of people. But then you go into the fact that she was also a hairdresser for these very wealthy people. So she
Yeah.
was not only a very charitable person, but probably extremely intimidating.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I could understand it.
So, I mean, and also, with the timeline of how she lived, I mean, she also, well, she might be a really charitable person. She definitely killed her husband and her kids.
Probably so. I mean, based off of what I could see, they did say, I don't know if Felicity and the other Marie lived, but I'll have to look back through the records and see what they can find. So this is the last thing I'm going to talk about is, okay, so I talked about the voodoo stuff. The reason why that she was trying to make it a little bit better with tying some things into Catholicism. Very blah blah blah. So she died in June 15th, 1881, at the age of 98. Again, not 98, supposedly 79. She was going to turn 80 that year, but for some reason there was multiple different places, and her death went very far. Stories of her death went very far. Tales in the Omaha Daily Bee in Nebraska, June 22nd, 1881.
She was pretty affluent then. People knew her from across the country.
Northern Pacific Farmer, Minnesota.
Minnesota.
July 07, 1881. Staunton
Minnesota.
Spectator, Virginia. Staunton Spectator in Virginia, July 12, 1881. And the New Orleans cemetery records prove that she was interred in as the Widow Paris tomb in St. Louis number 1 cemetery.
Gotcha.
Her grave is the most visited in the entirety of New Orleans.
Huh.
So there says there's two different tombs that people think that she was in, or she is in this one, or she's not in that one, and that's her daughter, because she did have a couple Marie Laveaux named after her.
Gotcha.
There's like 3 or 4 Marie Laveaux.
Well, she's a voodoo queen. That means hers is like weird, crazy.
So there's another thing.
Super nuts one.
After she died, some people think that she didn't die, and Marie too was her. But she wasn't as one of her daughters. One of her daughters actually started picking up voodoo. She was nowhere near as big as she was.
Yeah.
When she died off, that's when voodoo kind of took a hit in the Louisiana, New Orleans area.
Gotcha.
It kind of died down, and it's been on a resurgence now after a little while.
Weird.
Fun fact, this is the last thing I'm going to talk about with her, other than about another cryptid later down in the little ones. In 1982, the rock band The Misfits. Do you know who those guys are? You can find their T-shirts like at Walmart. It's a weird skull, and like looks all weird. It's a punk band. It's a punk rock band back in the 1980s.
Okay.
They snuck into the cemetery because they had a show in New Orleans. Press spun it as they were grave robbing.
Nice.
And then they didn't go to court. They got a ticket. They were like, hey, you can either go to court now and face possible jail time, or just finish your tour in Florida, get out of my state for a little bit, and then come pay your fine later. They come back to pay their fine, and when they pay the fine, the judge is like, great, don't enter New Orleans ever again, and they just send them away.
So they were actually told they literally can't come back to New Orleans.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
So I've got all these references. I will send these to you because I have like 13. I've got
we'll
a bunch
put them
of
in
them.
the put them in the video and the audio description.
Okay, and then they're about her tomb. One last thing, it's also probably one of the most defaced tombs that exists. The Wishing Tomb. It said that if you go and you write 3 X's on it, which is illegal, don't do that. You write 3 X's on it, you give her a wish, and then you provide her spirit, like bread or candies or some type of drinks, like as an offering, she will grant it. If she grants it, you come back and you circle all 3 of your X's.
Weird.
I don't know why, but that's it.
Are there any that are circled? That's the big thing.
I tried to look, but
See,
a lot of it looks like it's been pressure washed away and then refaced again.
Dang.
So
see, that would be the thing to see.
That would be really cool.
I'd love to see 3 X's and then 1 circled.
Yeah, the whole thing. That would be awesome.
Yeah. A bunch of them unchecked would be like, yeah, it's whatever.
Do you have any questions? I looked at so much Marie Laveau crap.
So was
really
there anything? Was there anything about her where people were like, I know she was, she was accused of poisoning people. She was accused of doing all sorts of other types of things. But was there anything specific she did? Well, that was said about her other than that one where she came through with like firing eyes and crap.
That's pretty much it. A lot of people said that she was just a really good person.
Does her ghost still hang out around New Orleans?
They do say there was this website talking about ghost haunts, and they say that her spirit does stay around that area. So there are ghost stories of her being around her old haunts and basically communing with people. And I don't know. It's just, I think it comes from a lot of is she a witch or is she not a witch?
That's what I was going to say. That's the only thing that really, to me, makes her a cryptid, which, I don't know, is a witch a cryptid? A cryptid is more like a cryptozoological animal that's not supposed to exist, but exists.
Did you not want me to do this one for this one?
No, I was just trying to find, it's interesting. There's a lot about her where a witchy type of thing is more, that's more paranormal. I think it still fits.
Yeah, that is true. Well, she does, as we'll find out in the little ones, a very weird connection to one of the little ones.
Really? Yeah. Does she have sex with something?
No.
Does something have sex with her?
No.
Does she watch something
have
sex?
What is that you have on your phone there?
I have, so, we'll get into that in a second. Okay. So, not such a...
What's wrong with
So
words?
that's it.
That's it for
It's
the
for main meats.
That was Marie Catherine. Hold on, she has the full long name. Marie Catherine. Catherine
Baguette.
Laveau Paris de Glapion, I believe is the full name.
Jeez.
she was interred as Marie Glapion because that was her last husband.
Oh, okay.
So,
Well, all right. Well, that was pretty cool. That's pretty interesting. We got a lot of information there too.
yeah, dude, it was
Pretty well documented. I mean, and she was a real person, so there should be that more documentation.
It should be. I did find. Oh no! If you hear that, that would be the sound of my alarm that tells me that the kids need to go into bed.
Go to sleep.
Go to sleep.
So yeah, that's it for our main meat, and I think now it's time for us to break into those little ones.
Little one. Just don't step on it. So small. Oh.
So this video I've got on my phone, I'm going to show Adam here, is what they think is the a video of the. Excuse me, where is it? The Louisiana swamp monster.
Cancel.
So this is a video, and I think I've seen this video before, but I didn't realize it was a Louisiana monster. I think this might actually be... No. Okay. So campers caught this on camera. It's 40 seconds long, about 40 seconds long, and if I think I remember seeing this. So what you're seeing... Yeah, did you see that?
Yeah.
You hear something?
Okay. So you can find this video... It's the title of the video is "Campers Catch Weird Creature on Film," and I'll get the channel name in a minute. But it's basically a guy filming a campsite. There's a fire. There's a dude walking there, and then watch this in the background.
It looks like it's on all hands and
Yeah.
Ew.
Yeah. Isn't it creepy? Look.
No.
It straight up looks like a naked dude crawling on all fours, hanging his head down as low as he can, like he's sniffing the ground.
That's creepy. I don't like that at all.
Yeah, so that channel is called NBG Films. They're not huge. They have 3.67 thousand subscribers.
Say NWA.
No. So what this one is, they just call it the new Louisiana swamp monster, and this still they have is from a different picture. That's from something called that's a rake one.
Yeah.
Which I can't wait to go over the rake. That one's
Yeah,
gonna be
the
fun.
rake's gonna be creepy.
So the new Louisiana swamp monster is a creature that is claimed to live in Louisiana. The monster was first sighted when a deer hunter at Bearwick was hunting at night. A deer hunter in Bearwick has okay. So this is the video that we were talking about. So this is the hunter near Baton Rouge reported to the media that he found this bizarre image on his deer stand camera. The hunting camera was broken, but the memory card was still there. So this remarkable photograph. Oh, I'm sorry. That is the photograph that he caught right there.
Yeah.
Look at that.
I don't like it.
Look at that.
I hope it's fake.
Look at that face.
It looks fake, right?
Look at that. Nah, that's totally real.
It's gonna be in my dreams.
It's gonna come for you.
This is gonna be the next thing we talk about.
Oh, that thing's sick.
This would be the grunch.
The Grunch?
Yes.
What is a stupid name?
Do you? Are you done with the swamp monster?
No. Not yet.
Okay.
So, so what he says here is camera's broken, memory card is still intact, and he had the picture. So he feels like it was a cross between a human and an animal with long, slender appendages.
Why was his camera
glowing? I don't know. I'm still reading at him.
Okay.
So the hunter says he hopes that it's a vegetarian if he runs into the woods again. The national media via MSNBC, PMSNBC, has widely shown this photograph on television. Barrick is a town in St. Mary Parish, Louisiana. The population was 4,400 at the 2000 census. The first white settler to trek through the wilderness in this area was Thomas Barwick, a surveyor from Pennsylvania who was working in Opelousas, Louisiana. Okay, so I don't really care about that part. So it looks like the photos were created as a viral marketing campaign for the Steven Spielberg Super 8 movie. The photo uploaded on a hunting supply site's Facebook page. So it looks like this one must be fake. But I don't know.
It says the picture's also used for the
rake.
For the rake.
That's why it looks so familiar. But I don't know about
the other
video.
No.
This video's nuts. I need to open this up.
I just saw that not too long ago, actually.
So yeah, caught on Caught on film while camping. Can't decide what it is by the firelight. Is it fascinating? Fake? You decide. He's trying to be Nuke's top 5 there.
Yeah, sounds like it.
Man, if we could have Nuke's top 5, like follow us on Instagram, I'd lose my mind.
That'd be pretty cool.
I'd be so happy. Nuke's top 5 is pretty cool.
I love that
Paranormal
show.
videos, cryptids, stuff like that. So
Lots of ghosts.
lots of ghosts. I gotta catch up. I'm a hot dog. I gotta watch some of those. Sorry. Every time I say I gotta catch up, it's something runs through my brain. I think I had a stroke.
It's something like that. Oh, so
Power the babe.
can I talk about this guy now?
No.
This is the Grunch.
The Grinch.
The Grunch.
The Grunch.
Can you see?
You might be able to see that.
Oh, you
You can't see it if it's a white screen, though.
Why to do that?
That's pretty funny. Just don't touch your screen, dude. Look at that.
Oh wow, you can see that really well, actually.
You actually can. Hold on. I'll zoom in a little. Hey.
That would be the Grunch. Basically,
Look at that.
oh look, he's like your brother.
Look at him. He's my boy.
Hey. They said that it's basically like a chupacabra of Louisiana.
Why does it look like a bat? It looks like a straight up bat.
Yeah, I don't know.
Man, that's gonna look so dumb when I zoom
it said
in
there's
with
tons
the
of-
green screen.
Yeah,
The
there's
flag is gonna stay the same size the entire time.
That's going to be the best thing. So it shows that it says that there's numerous sightings of the Grunch in the past centuries.
Grinch.
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 Eggman Gash, it's a Grinch.
Sounds like something
Okay.
Cartman would say and complain about
So the story of how the Grunch came to be is torn. They don't know if it's just some curse. It doesn't know if it was brought on by demon worshippers,
it. Oh, was it a butt baby?
or it is a devil baby. Okay, no, it's not a devil baby. It is the. It's not. How do you say? It's not offspring.
Spawn.
It's the unfortunate spawn of a castrated devil baby done by Marie Laveau herself.
That's right. I remember you telling me about it. One
Yeah.
of the testes.
Yeah. So
Testicles, boys.
she apparently. What I just said, the stupid
Castrated.
Castrated. She
There you go.
castrated the stupid thing.
Castrated
and
it
then,
or castrated somebody?
castrated castrated the devil baby, and the
Okay.
devil baby, its left nut fell on the floor, and then its right nut fell on the floor. One turned into a male Grunch, one turned into a female Grunch.
And then
Don't
they
really
populated-
understand it.
I don't know that's how creationism
So
works.
there was this one report who says that she saw it in the aftermath of Hurricane Katrina. She says that it approached her hunched over, loping. She could see that it was reptilian in nature.
Loping or limping?
It says loping, lopping.
Eloping?
This thing looked like some sort of lizard cross between monkey and bulldog. It was horrible. It was shuffling along on the lopsided gait and seemed to be so unnatural that I could feel the hairs on the back of my neck stand up.
Oh, a chihuahua.
It had grayish, scaly skin, a snouted face, and it looked like between half of an ape and an alligator.
What?
It is really hard to describe. As I approached it, it stopped and puffed to stand on two legs and at the height of about 5 feet, looking at me with
Holy
those
crap.
baleful eyes, and then it emitted the most unpleasant hiss. Emitted the most unpleasant hiss I could imagine. After which, it sort of lunged at me as I passed.
Crazy.
So yeah, but there's numerous sightings that go right up to the present day.
Right.
Seems to be along the rural roads or Highway 90.
Okay.
There is actually a road that was called Grunch Road.
Grunch.
But they can't decide on which road was called Grunch Road.
Interesting.
So there's that.
So, if you ever run into a monster that is the spawn of a baby's ball, run away.
Run away. Last thing. This is the last.
The Rougarou?
Yeah, and I want to really say this is a little one, but this story doesn't fit for us to do for Louisiana.
Why not?
Specifically because of where Rougarou comes from. If we were going to talk about it, we would have to talk about it from the aspect of France and when those sightings first started.
Okay, well,
Which,
I don't
like
know
we talked
French.
about before, is going to go back stupid far, and we're going to have to translate a lot of pages.
Yeah. From France.
But the
to
Rougarou
French.
is basically it's the French werewolf. It's basically
Yeah.
Louisiana's werewolf. Started off as being called the loup-garou in France, which means man-wolf. Same kind of stories apply. Not really having to deal with a full moon, it's just you turn into a man. You're a man turns into a wolf turns into a man, or some type of hybrid in between.
If you see a full moon and it's you ate the fresh escargot, it's when you turn into a wolf.
Oh, and actually, kind of has the same kind of tells that skinwalkers do as well.
Yeah.
Where you have to not really do some kind of egregious sin, but it's some kind of like silly thing. Like if you miss Lent 7 years in a row on purpose, you can become a Rougarou.
That's weird. Also, how do you forget Lent on accident?
I don't know, but it's like
I mean, I don't practice
it's not like
Catholicism,
on.
so I don't
It's
know.
not on. It's like not on accident. It's like you purposely don't do Lent.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, though, I haven't turned into a Rougarou.
Yeah, and I've never done Lent.
Exactly.
I've picked Lent out of my belly button.
So there is. Such an idiot.
I love it that button's there.
I'm glad.
I need to get a bigger soundboard.
Yeah.
I don't know how to hook it in there to where we would even hear it.
But I think that would be it.
Yeah, for the little ones and
little
the
ones.
I guess the other thing we have to get into is the the last thing, Adam. Do you know what that is?
Oh crap! Is it Do you think it's real? Or is it fake?
Is it real? Is it fake? Is it real? Is it fake? Is it real? Is it fake? Is it real? It's fake.
So on this lovely scale we've got here.
Yay! It's the scale.
Lovely scale.
Scale going from.
Which actually is going to be based on the height of the thing. Here, lower your seat a little
Oh
bit.
yeah, sorry.
Hyonk, hyonk, hyonk. Hyonk, 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 hyonk. Dude, I cannot take that dude seriously if that's how he really laughs. I'd lose my mind.
Who are we talking about?
You not seen that video? It's a dude who laughs like that. That's his laugh.
Oh, that's
For real.
That's sad.
I'll show it to you afterwards. So anyway,
We're much shorter now.
1 through 10. I don't know, you're about the same height. Don't hit me, please. I'm all the way down, dog.
So, anyways, we got
A
the
lovely scale from 1
over
to
here
10.
to 10 over there.
So we already know that Marie Laveau was a real person, but I guess the scale here would be whether or not she was a witch.
Was she a witch?
Was she a witchy witch? I know she's a murderer.
We don't know that.
Okay.
He might have left her. Who
He
knows?
just left her?
Who knows?
He left her and she was a great person.
She was an immigrant. He was an immigrant from Paris.
He had 2 kids with her, so he went back to Paris without her. And
Or
she's
he
a
just
great
randomly
person.
died. Yellow
With no
fever.
obituary.
Yellow fever was pretty rampant
There was
there.
no obituaries for everybody else back then.
Maybe he wanted
They
to go
knew
out.
about her. They knew about her kids.
Maybe.
Why was he listed as dead on the second girl's birth records?
That's a good point.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that doesn't mean that she
She's
killed him.
a murderer.
That doesn't mean that she killed him.
Murderer.
We don't know that.
10 for murderer.
No, I disagree.
I don't know.
For
Why
her,
not?
for being, because I don't think that she did it.
Why not?
Just based off of all the other stuff that I read about her.
She immediately she got into another relationship with a dude and had 15 kids with him, and he stayed around.
Not immediately. 2 years later,
It's pretty immediately.
she was with the other guy for 3 years.
Yeah. So why she killed him?
No, I'm sorry, it was 6 years.
Oh. Okay. Anyway, so Marie Laveau, she's a real person, but was she a witch?
Was she a witch?
Did she have powers at all?
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't really believe in witchy stuff.
2.
I'll do it too. I'll do it too.
Swamp monster. That video was
5.
kind of creepy. Nah, 4.
I know, but Bigfoot's always been 5.
Yeah, but this is also a different monster.
I know.
And that could have been just a dude with his, junk hanging out, all naked.
I really love being naked in
Dude,
the woods.
okay,
I
so-
hope nobody videotapes
Well,
me.
no, you've seen like those those nukes videos where they go like these kids go into like a mental asylum and stuff like that. I'm not sure if some of those are probably fake, but they literally go up to the second
Oh, yeah,
story
yeah,
and
and
there's
there's-
a person living there.
Yeah, there's people living there.
Yeah, and it's abandoned, and they're naked.
Yeah, but that's just like the woods.
Yeah,
That doesn't mean that it couldn't happen.
yeah.
It might have
It's
been
just
a person.
naked dude high on shrooms
4.
or something.
Yeah, 4.
So 4
Crunch.
maybe.
Chupacabra.
So
type
okay,
monster.
so here's the thing. Here is the thing. If we even say that is higher than a 4, Marie Laveau has to go up to about an 8 or a 9. Because if she's the one who castrated a demon baby,
That's just a theory about how
But-
it's made.
What's the other theory?
The other theory is that it's a curse put on
By who?
by a voodoo priestess, not necessarily
Or a
meaning,
voodoo queen?
not necessarily
A
meaning,
voodoo queen?
or it was a conjuring of like some demon spawn.
By a voodoo queen.
No, by Satanists.
By a voodoo queen. So, by way of, I don't know, like I said, it would. I mean, I'm not going to move it because I already put it over there, and I'm not going to spend the time to move it again.
Chupacabra?
Chupacabra is probably like a 4 or 5.
I would say 4 or 5 because those are also everywhere.
Yeah,
Like,
but
why
they
is
didn't say it was a
everywhere?
bloodsucker, but a chupacabra is not as big as this grunch thing is.
Yeah,
I think
the
she
grunch
said the
thing-
grunch thing, she stood up to like 5 feet tall.
Yeah.
Which is like almost your height. It's crazy.
Yeah, you're not that much taller than me, dude.
I know, but I love doing it because it
You're
makes
like
you
5.
upset.
What are you? 5'5"?
5'6".
Oh wow!
What are you, like 5'4"?
Oh, 5'5". Oh wow!
I'm actually, I'm 5'7".
No, you're not.
Yeah.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
Wow, you
We're both not tall,
You stay
bro.
in the womb for an extra hour and a
Get that
half.
extra 2 inches, dog. Not where they count, though.
That is true. All right,
Sad.
so that would have been Louisiana.
It was Louisiana.
That was Louisiana.
Pretty good show.
You like that one?
Pretty good.
Okay.
It's probably, I just started. I mean, I still have the Labyrinth soundtrack going through my head.
Voodoo, voodoo, power of the babe.
Power of the babe. Dance, magic dance, magic dance, magic dance,
Good old-
magic dance.
Good old David Bowie.
David Bowie.
All right, so
What's next?
oh no,
M, bro. Louisiana. There's no other L states, right?
Mississippi. I think.
Wait,
is
there's no
next.
other. Adam, there's no other L states.
There's no
right?
other L states. I
Yeah, it's probably
believe-
Mississippi. It's
I
not
believe
Missouri.
It's Mississippi.
Nope. It's Maine.
Maine.
Maine. Oh, hey, we're gonna go over the rake. I
Oh
think.
yeah.
Should be Maine, because Maryland should be next. Then it should be Missouri. Then it should be no, it should be Maine, Maryland, Mississippi, Missouri.
Dance magic. I hate you
Dance,
so
magic,
much.
dance, magic dance. I was listening to a podcast. Oh gosh,
Yep. So it's gonna go
Well, it's-
Maine,
oh.
Maryland, Massachusetts, Michigan.
oh Massachusetts. I forgot that that's a state. It's annoyingly small.
Not Massachusetts.
Massachusetts is kind of small.
I thought Massachusetts was bigger.
Nah.
Either way, again, we don't know geology.
We don't need geology. So you can't say the right word, and I can't even say real words.
So anyway,
Dance, magic, dance.
shut your mouth.
Magic dance.
Press the like button if you like this one.
Yeah.
Subscribe button is over somewhere on the bottom.
It's over here by me.
Yeah, I think the notification bell's over there too.
Yep.
We're gonna be trying to post. We try to post weekly.
We were doing it pretty well until I had to go out of state for a little bit.
Yeah, it's gonna get like that sometimes. But
Every
you're just gonna have to-
5 weeks, it'll probably be more annoying than others.
yeah. So you're just
sorry
gonna
about that.
you're just gonna have to get used to it. Deal with it.
Deal with it.
Suck it up.
Yeah. Suck it up, Buttercup.
Especially if you want to watch like these two idiots talk about cryptids.
Hey,
It's pretty fun.
hey. You are a moron. Not an idiot.
Listen.
Listen,
I eat crayons. I'm not as dumb as
I don't need.
I'm not.
I don't.
I'm not as dumb as a crayon.
Playlist up here in the top left.
Yep.
50 states.
thought it was over me.
Nope. It's over me.
Okay.
Nope. It's over you.
It is over me.
Nope. It's over me.
Oh, so now you're making yourself have to put it back and forth.
Oh, I'm not doing that.
Oh.
It's just going to be on whatever side it's supposed to be on. I will not do it over and over again. Because, one, I can't.
Yeah.
The placard thing only goes on one side, and I can't make it go back and forth, back and forth.
Did you guys like the Louisiana flag back up here?
It's gone! Shut your mouth! You control nothing.
Now it's back.
You control nothing. I'm going to have a little thing above your head right here that says you control nothing. And that'll be it.
Okay.
It's going to track your head.
That's fine. All right, guys. Well, it was fun. I like this one a lot. Hopefully, I'll see what we can find out for Maine.
The rake is in Maine,
All right, then.
so we'll do the rake.
Sounds good.
It's going to like it.
Have you ever heard a rake scream?
There's actually some really creepy stories about that one.
Yeah. All right.
We'll see you guys in the next one.